Let's review the SensePay from Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central installation, setup, and basic functionality. Make sure you're logged in to the Dynamics 365 Business Central sandbox or production environment to successfully upload and install the SensePay extension. If SensePay has previously been installed, make sure to uninstall the old version prior to installing the latest version of SensePay. Click on the search icon, search for, and click on Extension Management. Click on the Manage tab, and then Upload Extension. In the Select App File field, look for your SensePay extension download. Move the radio button to the right for Accept the Privacy Policy and Disclaimer, and click Deploy. The extension should take a few minutes to install. If it takes longer than 5 minutes, check the installation status for any errors. Here we see the status under Manage and Installation Status. You can see the installation shows as in progress. Now let's search and click on Payment Methods. Here, different payment methods can be added. We'll look here to confirm that SensePay is listed in Payment Methods. Search for and click on Payment Registration Setup. This is where you'll review the settings for Journal Template Name, Batch Name, and Balancing Account. When setting up a customer with SensePay, you want to make sure that the minimum amount of information, name and email address, are present. You will also want to make sure they have payment terms set. The payment method code required is SensePay. Now that we've had a few minutes, we can check on the installation status of the SensePay extension. We do this by going to Extension Management, clicking the Manage tab, and viewing the installation status. Here we can see the installation is completed. Once SensePay has been installed, a new tab will appear called Integrated Payments. Click on Integrated Payments and navigate to the SensePay settings. Here we can set SensePay application settings. The production environment is optional. If you're in a sandbox environment, leave this disabled. Here you can enter the API key provided to you. The payment link valid hours is up to you to decide how many hours you would like the payment link to be valid for. You can also set the payment method code as SensePay. This is also where you will designate whether you want to send payment links or auto-capture payments for post-sales orders and invoices. For card on file setup, you will go to the home page and navigate to Customers and select your customer. Under the customer record, you will choose the Actions tab, SensePay, and then Create Cards on File. After selecting Add New Credit Card, the screen prompts for manual entry of the credit card information, but also presents a barcode that could be scanned by a customer with their phone in order to pay via digital wallet for in-person transactions. Here you can see this customer already does have a card on file listed. Under the Sales tab, select Sales Invoices, and then New. Under the customer number, select Show More and scroll to select the customer for this invoice. Once the customer is added to the invoice, confirm the email address is present and the posting date is the correct date. In the Lines section, use the Number drop-down menu to select items to be sold on this invoice. And at the Quantity tab, enter the quantity. Next, in the Invoice Details section, we want to confirm that the payment method code is SensePay. When SensePay is configured for card on file to be used, the radio button Send Payment Link to Customer is grayed out. We can select the card on file and choose which card information to be used. hover over the Post icon tab, we'll choose to post the invoice. We can then select to open the posted invoice and review it. Here you can see that the invoice shows the transaction for the card on file has been approved. Once the invoice has posted, it is moved from Sales Invoices to Posted Sales Invoices. Navigate to Sales, Posted Sales Invoices, and look for the invoice number. It should now show $0 remaining amount. On the right-hand side, under Details, it should also show the status as Transaction Approved. For a customer return, we will select the customer and navigate to their ledger entries and find their invoice for the return. Here we can confirm there are both an invoice and a separate payment for the purchased item. Highlight under Document Type and the payment row for this item. Then you'll click the three-dot menu and choose Unapply Entries. Under Initial Document Type, the payment should be highlighted. Here you can unapply, click Yes, and then you'll see that the entry has been unapplied. Now you'll go back to Sales, Posted Sales Invoices, and refresh the page. Now you'll see the invoice should show under Remaining Amount column the original cost of the item. There's one more step. We'll have to create a corrective credit memo. On Posted Sales Invoice page, highlight the invoice and under the Number column, click on the three dots. And then you can select Create Corrective Credit Memo. Now we're in the Sales Credit Memo page. Confirm the items and quantity of the amount to be returned. And then confirm under the payment method that the code is SensePay. Once we've reviewed and confirmed the details on the credit memo, we want to post it. Hover over the Post icon tab. It is recommended to choose Post here, and then click Yes. Now on the Posted Sales Credit Memo page, we can see that the transaction has been refunded. We can also verify this refund in the customer ledger entries. Viewing the credit memo has been applied and the refund has been completed. To set up payment links on the post-sales orders and invoices, we will navigate to Integrated Payments, SensePay Settings, and the Payment Plans section. Enable the selection Send Payment Link on post-sales order or invoice by moving the radio button to the right. This will turn on the Send Payment Link feature under the Customer tab. Now we'll create a sales order. Select Sales, Sales Order, New. And here in the General section, we can select the customer number. Then we'll scroll down and we'll select the number and quantity of the item we want to sell. In the Invoice Details section, we want to ensure that the payment method code is marked as SensePay. In the EFT payment method, you can see that the Send Payment Link radio button is grayed out and already turned on. That means the option of card on file is no longer present, so it will send a link for the customer to pay via invoice. Now we'll hover over the Post icon tab For this, we'll select Post and Send, so the customer will receive an email of the invoice with a link to pay for their order. Now let's view the emailed invoice. Within the invoice, the customer can click on Pay the Invoice button and then pay by their preferred payment option. Once the payment is made, the customer will then receive an email with a copy of the paid invoice. Now we'll do a card authorization. Please note that this is for card on file only, so make sure that in Integrated Payments, SensePay settings, that the Auto Capture Payment on Post-Sales Order Invoice option is chosen. Now we'll open Sales and choose Sales Invoice or Sales Order. And then New. We'll select a customer. And then we'll choose the item and quantity that we're going to sell. Now we make sure that the EFT payment method is showing as card on file. In the Actions tab, under SensePay, choose Authorize. We'll enter the description, and then we can choose either to process by card on file or process by manual entry. This will prompt Authorization Approved. Click OK, and the payment now is authorized. We can post the invoice. If a customer wants to pay a deposit, you can go into Sales, Sales Orders, and select New. We'll add the customer, and then we'll choose the item and quantity that the customer is paying a deposit for. Make sure the payment method shows as SensePay. Now, under the EFT payment section, we will enter or select Card on File for this to be used for the deposit. Go to Actions, select SensePay, and then choose the option for Pay Deposit. Here you can enter the amount of the deposit to be charged, the description, and then we'll choose our action, either process by card on file or process by manual entry. Once the deposit is approved and processed, you'll click OK and close the transaction. When the deposit is approved, on the sales order page, the invoice details section will show a deposit field that has the approved amount. Now with the deposit processed, you can click the post icon, post and send the invoice, and then you'll click Ship an Invoice. Our SensePay payment extension, simplifies payment processing within Business Central. Users can process orders and invoices via card on file, pay by link, or pay via barcode scan. Contact our team today to learn more about this amazing option for your Business Central environment.